Middlesbrough have never won at Loftus Road, never in 15 attempts won at Loftus Road. They're 5th and 6th in the Premier League. And the Robert Lee transfer, as far as we know, it's off for now. We'll get more details of that after the match. Two of the surprise visitors to the Premier League's top 6, just 2 points between them, already 8 wins between them, and a lot of new friends won by the manner of those victories. Alan Kernigan, the Middlesbrough captain, looking for the lone figure of Paul Wilkinson up front. This is Robbie Mustoe. John Hendry taking on Clive Wilson and giving him something to think about inside the opening minute. Ball still in play. And Wilson has the final say in the tussle. Queen's Park Rangers have already been to the very top of the new league. Staying at the top is where these sides have still to prove their doubters wrong. Free kick given against Chris Morris for pushing on Les Ferdinand. Queen's Park Rangers are pushing Darren Peacock forward from the back for this free kick. It'll be Clive Wilson to take the free kick. In towards Peacock. One in the air by Falconer. Barker holding up Pollock. And winning a throw-in off him. Peacock has stayed forward. This is Sinton. But nobody in the left wing berth that he'd vacated. It's over the top towards Wilkinson, and McDonald's touch wasn't too sure. Good covering though by Justin Channing, who's deputising for David Bardsley, injured on England duty. Headed by Falconer, and then by Sinton. And then by Ferdinand, and now Gary Penrice. Ferdinand making a break to his right, but it was a firm challenge by Alan Kernigan. Brian Horn having to take evasive action, and Ferdinand's foot was very high. He will claim that he was looking to charge down the goalkeeper's inevitable clearance. But the studs were showing somewhat dangerously there. Tommy Wright is the target over the top. Awkward for Justin Channing, and he just caught right there. Referee has given a corner when Middlesbrough were hoping and maybe should have had a free kick. Certainly seemed to me that Channing tapped the ankle of Tommy Wright after he lost control there. Free kick it is in actual fact. Wright's gone over to take the corner, and he's got what he wanted in the first place. Alan Kernigan, the Middlesbrough skipper, is forward along with Wilkinson and Falconer, but not there. This is Jamie Pollock. Wilkins catching Phillips in possession. Had a lively start, Hendry, as Channing will testify here. John Hendry, beaten away by Jan Stejskal. And Channing, the Queen's Park Rangers fullback, just took on a little bit too much there. Hendry almost made him pay. Stejskal just beating it away. Pollock, Wilkins, Sinton. It is very, very tight and crowded in midfield. Mustoe run off it by Barker. Now MacDonald. Gary Penrice breaking in behind Chris Morris. Has support from Sinton. Sinton managed to squeeze across back. Kernigan. Almost showed too much of it to Penrice. Hendry did show too much of it to Wilson, but he rode his luck and rode the challenge, and he's got Wilkinson and Wright in support. Still John Hendry might go all the way alone. In the end, it was a reasonably comfortable save for Jan Stejskal, but a very uncomfortable moment for the Queen's Park Rangers defence as Hendry ran at them. Impey. A little bit too long from Channing. This is Barker. MacDonald. Morris got a foot in. Falconer. Right. Musto has broken forward in support of Wilkinson this time. Alan Kernigan. MacDonald got between the two Middlesbrough front men. White a little bit too strong for Penrice. Still got the benefit of the referee's doubt. Penrice had hold of his shirt. Tommy Wright. Challenged by Justin Channing. Willie Falconer. Jan Stejskal will miss Queen's Park Rangers' forthcoming midweek cup tie with Grimsby in the Coca-Cola Cup. He's on duty with Czechoslovakia against the Faroe Islands in a World Cup qualifier. Although from what we saw of them against Wales earlier this month, Stejskal should be in for a relatively easy journey. Queen's Park Rangers still have some concern over Clive Wilson, who's hobbling somewhat at left back. Penrice for Wilkins. Awkward for Chris Morris. Headed by Ferdinand. Gary Penrice feeding off him. Now Andy Sinton. Two Middlesbrough men in front of him. He's trying to clip across in towards Penrice, but Horn anticipated it and sets Phillips on his way. And he was unable to keep the ball in play. But Queen's Park Rangers are going to have to make a substitution. Clive Wilson is unable to continue. And Danny Maddox, himself a pacey defender, with only a couple of minutes of Premier League football to his name as a substitute at Southampton last week, gets a welcome chance from his point of view to add to his experience at right back, with Channing switching to left. The Queen's Park Rangers now without both of their first choice fullbacks. This is Penrice, clipped in towards Simon Barker, but the flag is up. Headed by Maddox. Intercepted by Pollock. Right for Wilkinson. Wright has gone on down the touchline. Peacock in the way. Now Sinton. Pollock really is very, very strong. He's a robust 18-year-old who made quite an impact in the middle of last season and then rather burnt himself out. But he's come refreshed into this game. His first real taste of Premier League football. Robbie Mustoe. Chris Morris. Been an even-handed sort of match, tightly contested. It's lacking a little bit of spark for the moment. Simon Barker, Andrew Impey. Queen's Park Rangers going about their business in their usual neat and orderly way, but just unable to get in behind Middlesbrough. Impey is maybe their best hope, certainly their speediest hope. Headed by Maddox. Falconer, bit of a loose one. Nothing loose about Peacock's header. Impey at the stretch, only for Phillips. Offside against John Hendry. And he's going to get a talking to for contesting the decision with the linesman. And he's going to get a bit more than a talking to, a yellow card for Hendry for dissent. May seem a little petty on behalf of the officials, but they have been instructed to clamp down on dissent this season. MacDonald with the free kick. Headed by Kernaghan. This is Hendry. Held off Channing. It's got Wilkinson and Wright in support. Pollock trying to get there too. MacDonald came across with a really good challenge, but has injured his arm in the process. Good tackling turned by Mustoe. But the referee has sensibly stopped play because Alan MacDonald is in some distress and Queen's Park Rangers have another injury problem. It was just an awkward fall, nothing more than that. Well-timed tackle, but as he fell, it looked for a moment as if he might have put his shoulder or his collarbone out, but I don't think the problem is quite that serious. Alan MacDonald will soldier on. More a case of necessity as much as anything. He's clearly not fully fit. Queen's Park Rangers now starting to develop real injury problems in defence. Headed by Ferdinand. Cleared by Morris. That's Wilkinson. Wright looking to get in behind Maddox, but Barker was there. Offering Stejskal a short pass. Stejskal sensibly declining. Foul given against Ray Wilkins. Chris Morris. Hung in towards Paul Wilkinson. Peacock did well against him. MacDonald couldn't quite get it clear. He was caught again then by Mustoe. And MacDonald has a real problem. He's a courageous sort, and he'll soldier on for as long as he can, but I think Jerry Francis has seen enough, and he's preparing now to make the second change to his defence. Defence already stripped of David Bardsley inside the first half hour. He's lost Clive Wilson, and now he's losing Alan MacDonald. The other substitute is a midfield player, Ian Holloway. And he's going to have to fill in at right back with Maddox and Peacock together now at the centre of the defence, and Channing at left back. Maddox the only one of the four in the position in which he started the match. Morris with a loose clearance, Sinton in towards Ferdinand, couldn't control the header under pressure from Derek White. This is Danny Maddox. Andy Sinton. Justin Channing. It's awkward for Jimmy Phillips, and he's looking for some help from his goalkeeper, and he gets it. Pollock. He got a blow in the face there as he challenged Impey. Clearance by White. Peacock watching it carefully, and the bounce didn't help him. Jamie Pollock is the injured Middlesbrough player. It has been a bit of a casualty ward of a game so far. It was a sliding challenge on Andrew Impey, and Pollock's head was down at ground level. And accidentally, as he went through Impey and took the ball, I think the Queen's Park Rangers winger just caught him in the face. I don't think there was any malice about it at all. But Pollock has been clearly concussed by that, and now he's going to join the walking wounded on the sidelines. It looks like Slaven may well be needed. Middlesbrough keen to give the youngsters some time to recover if they can. The Slaven is stripped off and ready for action. Middlesbrough will play with 10 men for a moment or two. And number 10, Tommy Wright, looking to get in behind Peacock. Easier said than done. Headed by Ferdinand. Clearance by White. Hendry trying to react. Phillips holding off Impey. Oh, and White just lost his bearings for a moment. Penrice was in, and Derek White penalised. Queen's Park Rangers have a free kick. It's a momentary loss of concentration and balance by the Middlesbrough defender. And Penrice has won the free kick, which Wilkins will take. Just over half an hour gone. Peacock and Maddox are in there. It's in towards Ferdinand, but he got underneath it and it looped over the crossbar. Middlesbrough, meanwhile, have made a substitution and brought Bernie Slaven on in place of Jamie Pollock, so we've had 3 substitutes used in the first half hour. Wilkinson got a touch on Channing, and then it came off Slaven, rather fortuitously for Holloway. Impey. Now Wilkins. Looking for Ferdinand. That's one of the better passes of the afternoon. Held up by White. Holloway. Hendry dealt with it well, although it's fallen now for Wilkins. Looking to play it inside Morris for Sinton. Morris hemmed in, did well to get a goal kick out of it. Defence was Middlesbrough's strong suit during their promotion campaign, but they've quickly established themselves amongst the Premier League's top goal scorers this season. At least 1 in every game, 13 in all. And they have 4 or 5 different players now in their squad with a genuine eye for goal. And with Queen's Park Rangers depleted by injury in defence, there is an opportunity for Middlesbrough to push on and look for the win. Sinton looking for a home win for the moment. Running at Morris. Clip beyond Ferdinand. And Andy Sinton starting to get the service, which will give him the opportunity to run at Chris Morris and examine the right-hand side of the Middlesbrough defence. Peacock penalised, just using his forearm on the back of Paul Wilkinson's neck in order to get some leverage. Alan Kernigan has gone forward too. It'll be Jimmy Phillips with the free kick. It's found its way through to Hendry! Real chance. He seemed to have done the difficult bit in gathering it in and setting himself up for the volley. But although his final strike was a crisp one, it was wide of the target. The first real sight of goal that any player on either side has had, and it fell to John Hendry. Impey, now Sinton. This is Penrice! And that's the narrowest squeak yet that Middlesbrough have had at the other end. Gary Penrice's ground shot, guided just wide of Brian Horne's right-hand post. Usually hits the target from that kind of range and makes the goalkeeper work, Penrice. He's a genuine marksman. Headed by Maddox, on by Wilkins, only as far as Falconer. Wilkins again, looking for Ferdinand this time, stretching his legs, Horns out, and did well with the last-ditch challenge. Andy Sinton with the keeper out, but not out of it altogether. Horn recovered quickly, and Sinton couldn't quite lift the ball over him. Well, he was an all-purpose defender there, Brian Horne. First with the slide challenge, and then with the acrobatic save. Really come to Middlesbrough's rescue in the midst of a mini goalkeeping crisis. This is Chris Morris getting in behind Ferdinand, and it's Stagekuhl who meets the crisis with a fine save this time. Chris Morris, where did he come from? Just tiptoed up on the blind side and was suddenly in the Queen's Park Rangers penalty area and looking at the whites of Jan Stagekuhl's eyes. Five minutes of the first half remaining, and suddenly it's really come to life. It's there! Middlesbrough in front. A goal from the skipper, Alan Kernigan. Jimmy Phillips' corner turned in at the near post. And Kernigan's second goal of the season gives Borough the advantage. Couldn't have been simpler. And he just out-jumped Peacock. Stagekuhl was committed. And it was a comfortable header for Alan Kernigan. Queen's Park Rangers 0, Middlesbrough 1. Wilkinson for Musto. Jimmy Phillips. Slaven. Phillips again. Deflected off Impey. Slaven's in there. And Stagekuhl was just in there ahead of him. They've got it back with Hendry. And Stagekuhl in retreat, happy to see the ball drift past the post. It's a corner kick though. And Queen's Park Rangers suddenly hanging on to the ropes a little bit. Kernigan's in there again. Wright swings it in. Peacock unable to deal with it properly. Bernie Slaven. John Hendry. Tackled by Impey. Morris. Kernigan. Now Hendry. Held off Sinton. Blocked by Ferdinand. Slaven. Deflected off his own player, Paul Wilkinson, and that'll be a goal kick. And a little bit of respite for Queen's Park Rangers. Slaven's shot actually hit his own player, Paul Wilkinson. Penrice just trying to help it on. Derek White was there. Impey. Sinton calling for it square. Here he is. Barker to his right is not fully fit, so he chooses the pass to Holloway in towards Ferdinand. Punched by Horn. Wilkins with a shot. Ferdinand! Just couldn't quite control that final last desperate stab at goal. He was recovering from the initial effort, which Brian Horn just managed to deal with. Wilkins a rather anxious effort at goal, and Ferdinand over the bar. Wilkinson, now right. Middlesbrough have got 3 men in the box. Wright's cross deflected behind for a corner by Ian Holloway. Almost 6 minutes of added time played at the end of this first half. And Middlesbrough, who scored the half's only goal from a corner, have another now, short for Phillips. And that's the end of what has been a very damaging first half for Queen's Park Rangers. They've lost 2 players, Wilson and McDonald, through injury. They have another, Barker, a mere passenger now, and they're a goal down thanks to Alan Kernigan's goal from Jimmy Phillips' corner in the 40th minute. Queen's Park Rangers 0, Middlesbrough 1. Rangers have failed to score in either of their last 2 home games. It was a failing of theirs at times last season. They drew a lot of matches here at Loftus Road. Today they need a goal to even consider a draw. They have a free kick given against them. Impey on Phillips. But they're genuinely difficult to beat here, all right. Unbeaten at home this season. Only Spurs have won here since last November. Gives you a measure of the prize, which Middlesbrough have beckoning them now, particularly as Middlesbrough themselves have never won on this ground. Headed by Danny Maddox. A bit of space for Channing. A bit more time than he might have expected. Given away by Maddox to Musto. Quite sure what Slaven had in mind. Looking down for something to blame. I think it was the pitch that took the rap. Ferdinand jumped a little early. Made that Kernigan couldn't quite clear the ball as far as he would like. That's Penrice for the header to Holloway's cross. Foul by Maddox on Wilkinson. Danny Maddox, introduced initially as a fullback into this game, is now in his favoured position at the heart of the defence alongside Darren Peacock. But Channing at left back here is out of position, and so is Holloway at right back. Ball is very much in Queen's Park Rangers' court now. The onus is on them to try and build up some impetus and momentum against the Middlesbrough side, who have looked very solid for the most part, very competitive, and now have a one-goal lead to protect. Certainly the capacity to add to it when they break. Here's Wilkins. He's looking to get Queen's Park Rangers moving. Les Ferdinand. Held off Jimmy Phillips. Good strong play by Ferdinand. Took the third man, Derek White, to clear. And here's John Hendry looking to get in behind Justin Channing now. And he's got support. And as well for Queen's Park Rangers that Channing got in a clearance. White. Maddox across. Virtually no way out for a defender these days when he's pushed into the corner there, facing his own dead ball line. No goalkeeper to go back to. Throwing that Chris Morris will take. Hendry, and Channing concedes the corner. Nice little pat on the head from Ray Wilkins. Channing and co have got some defending to do again. And Alan Kernigan, the scorer of the game's only goal, is again inside the Queen's Park Rangers box. Jimmy Phillips, who provided him with the goal, will again take the corner. It's longer towards Wilkinson this time. A little bit too long, in fact. Middlesbrough throw. Mustoe. Wilkins just got a foot in. Came off Barker. With a little bit more force off the right boot of Darren Peacock. Chris Morris. Here's Willie Falconer. Middlesbrough have a measure of control for the moment. Morris finding Slaven. Hendry. Mustoe. Kernigan. Swung back into the corner for Tommy Wright. Channing across to police him. Chris Morris with the cross. And just a little bit more accuracy and a little bit more penetration. And you feel as though Middlesbrough could open up a gap which Queen's Park Rangers, with all their injury problems, would find very difficult to close. But Rangers have been game and they've been persistent and they're hanging in this match. Six minutes of the second half played. Ferdinand's been joined in there by Darren Peacock and Danny Maddox. Headed by Chris Morris. That's Ferdinand. It's awkward for Maddox. And he just couldn't quite get the leverage behind the header that he wanted. And he didn't really test Brian Horn. It was dropping without too much pace towards Danny Maddox when it came off Les Ferdinand. And he moved into a good position. Couldn't get any power on the header. Free kick given against Wilkinson. Taken by Wilkins, and here's Peacock venturing over the halfway line. And here's Penrice sneaking into space. And only Brian Horn's leg denied him an equaliser. But Gary Penrice stole a critical yard or two there and had a clear sight of goal. Holloway. Penrice again. Andrew Impey. Crosses deep, turned away by Morris. And John Hendry has possession, and Middlesbrough have escaped. Paul Wilkinson just unable to cotton on to that. A little boost for Queen's Park Rangers. It would have been a major boost had Penrice tucked the chance away. But Horn did his bit spread himself, made a big target for Penrice to pass, and managed to get a leg on the ball. Penrice again. Holloway. Penrice scooped rather optimistically in the general direction of Les Ferdinand. Penrice got away from White, but not from Kernigan. Andrew Impey, best spell that Queen's Park Rangers have had for a while. White did just enough. Jimmy Phillips helped him out. Wilkins, Maddox, Ferdinand, cleared by Morris. Peacock. Ferdinand. Derek White with the challenge. Came off Ferdinand last, it'll be a Middlesbrough throw. Wilkins, Impey. The signs of Queen's Park Rangers starting to click those passes together again. Impey has got him behind Phillips. The pitch just wasn't quite long enough for him. But the last 5 minutes have been encouraging for Queen's Park Rangers. Sinton. Challenged by Morris. Kernigan. Here's Andrew Impey. Les Ferdinand. Impey again. Sinton to his left. Channing here just behind him. Impey stolen some space inside the box. Three waiting beyond the far post. Sinton's cross won't reach them. Chris Morris saw to that. Wilkins, second chance for Sinton. Still three in the box. Ferdinand's there! And Ferdinand has scored! And now gone! And Les Ferdinand's persistence produces an equaliser for Queen's Park Rangers. Andy Sinton's curling cross from the left-hand side. And Ferdinand just made it his. Spectacular header. A real centre-forwards goal from one of the best centre-forwards in the Premier League at the moment. Maddox for Barker. And it's a different Queen's Park Rangers all of a sudden. Holloway doing well. White's header. Maddox. Hendry in the way. Morris offering an alternative on the overlap. Hendry coming inside. Way by Channing. White. Slaven. Chance now for Tommy Wright. It's 2-1 to Middlesbrough. And within a minute of Queen's Park Rangers equalising, Tommy Wright has put Middlesbrough back in front. And Middlesbrough, who had a measure of control in the opening period of this second half, have been pushed back, suddenly bounced back with Tommy Wright's third goal for them. He's replaced Stuart Ripley in the Middlesbrough side, not an easy thing to do, but he is maybe more of a natural goal scorer than Ripley. And already 3 for him. Late challenge by Impey. So frustrating for Queen's Park Rangers, who've had to use up so much fuel just driving their way back into the game. And no sooner were they on terms than Middlesbrough eased clear again. Wilkinson, away by Maddox. Sinton. Now can Queen's Park Rangers do it all over again? Andrew Impey. Away from Falconer, away from Phillips, running at White. Exhilarating run by Impey, and it's won a free kick. Impey has set up position for Queen's Park Rangers. Free kick just 4 or 5 paces outside of the Middlesbrough box. Jimmy Borrett just repositioning the wall. Queen's Park Rangers have taken the free kick too quickly. They can't have it both ways. Wilkins standing over the ball. It'll be Andy Sinton though. Held enough right to left, but not enough up to down. Came off right for Impey. Here goes Ferdinand against Phillips. Well-timed challenge by the Middlesbrough fullback. The Queen's Park Rangers have won another corner and won a chance for another reprieve. Peacock and Maddox both inside the Middlesbrough penalty area. Wilkins to take. It's towards Peacock, he won it well and it came off Wilkinson and flashed somehow past the post for another corner. Poor Wilkinson so close to an own goal there. Really meaty header by Peacock. Wilkins again. Horn has come for it. Cleared his penalty area with the punch. Sinton, and that will be Horns. Slaven, he's got Hendry to his right. He's got Mustoe down the middle. And that's the early ball in towards Robbie Mustoe. It's run through towards Penrice. Headed by Derek White. Cleared by Chris Morris. When Barker just miscontrolled the ball, but he managed to escape. Here goes Andy Sinton. Morris with the challenge, corner kick the verdict. Queen's Park Rangers a little over 20 minutes to get back into the game again. Sinton's trying to take a throw, but it is definitely a corner. To have his arm twisted to take advantage of the situation. Peacock and Maddox on the near post. It's in towards Ferdinand! Close call. He was certainly warm. And he certainly got to the ball ahead of Derek White again. Life in the big league with Charlton Athletic was mainly about survival for Lenny Lawrence. In 9 years there, he went through 4 chairmen, 2 grounds, 1 promotion, 1 relegation, and 5 escapes. He's hoping for a different kind of career with Middlesbrough. Sinton. Penrice. Hooked away from Derek White. Good work by Penrice! And he's got his reward. And Queen's Park Rangers have come back to equalise again. It's Gary Penrice's first goal since last February. Brian Horn, the Middlesbrough goalkeeper, will be a little disappointed with his part in it, as I guess will Derek White for letting Penrice just squirm away from him. And somehow the shot squirmed through Horn, and Penrice has equalised 2-2. Slaven. One back by Impey. Holloway. Here's Penrice again. Derek White. And Queen's Park Rangers will be very keen just to try and steady things down for a moment or two and not be caught with the same kind of sucker punch that they took after their first equaliser. Wilkinson in pursuit. Danny Maddox back there. Penrice managed to take the weight off it. Hendry. Phillips. Kernigan. White. He's taken on a bit too much. Impey's stolen the ball from him. Falconer though. Slaven. Forced wide by Holloway. Well to hold on so far. Now he's got Tommy Wright arriving in the shape of the cavalry. Shot was straight at Stejskog. Early for Ferdinand. He's a real handful at the moment, Les Ferdinand. He needs some help. It's arriving from Penrice. Beaten away by Horn and cleared away from danger by Jimmy Phillips. Real humdinger from Gary Penrice. And it was as much as Horn could do to get his body behind it. Well set up by Ferdinand, and he creamed it. Corner kick with 7 minutes remaining. Wilkins towards Peacock. Just squirted off his forehead and away to the safety of a goal kick from Middlesbrough's point of view. Peacock had his hands on Wilkinson's shoulders. And so with 6 minutes remaining, Middlesbrough will have a free kick in a promising position. Promising enough for Alan Kernigan to venture forward again. It's in towards him, but it was Falconer who came round the back. And for the third time in the game, Middlesbrough take the lead. And will that one be the killer goal? Willie Falconer it was who got it, and he just tiptoed round the back unseen and had a free header from 6 yards, and Stejskog had no answer to it. Queen's Park Rangers 2, Middlesbrough 3, and at last Middlesbrough may just have got a winning goal. Derek White. Ian Holloway. Queen's Park Rangers free kick. Now, can they possibly climb that proverbial mountain once more? They've been on the slopes for much of the afternoon. This is Penrice. Couldn't quite place Sinton in. Impey, headed by Musto. Barker, out to Channing. Last couple of minutes now. Andy Sinton, Gary Penrice. Kernaghan wouldn't let him turn. Channing shot blocked. It's Chris Morris who got in the way. Still Channing though. In towards Barker. Wouldn't quite fall for Impey. Phillips did well. And Wright is able to clear. Hendry, slaving with some space, and there's not much of that about. Tommy Wright's onside. No, he's not. Seemed to have timed the run pretty well to me. Queen's Park Rangers free kick. Sinton. Peacock is now forward. There's an auxiliary centre forward. It's Channing's cross, headed by Phillips. This is Holloway. Wilkins. Lifted in towards Ferdinand again. Horn with an uncertain punch. Impey, Penrice, Ferdinand. Important clearance by Kernaghan. Wilkins now to Holloway. It'll run for Andy Sinton. Barged in the back by Hendry. Queen's Park Rangers free kick. Last minute of what it really has been a gripping game. From quiet beginnings, it's blossomed into a real cliffhanger. Sinton with a free kick. Run away off Maddox for Wilkins. Holloway, the charging in, it's come off the crossbar from Impey, and somehow Middlesbrough have smuggled it away. Sinton's gone tumbling, penalty! Well, if you like drama, this is the place to be. Queen's Park Rangers denied an equaliser in the last minute by a coat of paint. Immediately get a chance for another reprieve from the spot. It was Andy Sinton who was tumbled, and Andy Sinton it will be to take the crucial penalty after Impey had gone so close. Stoppage time. Sinton versus Horn. 3-3. And Queen's Park Rangers just won't lie down. 3 times they've gone behind. 3 times they've recovered. And that is surely the final word on a fine afternoon's entertainment at Loftus Road. Andy Sinton, who won the penalty, dispatches the penalty, and Rangers surely have their point, a hard-earned point. Now, is there any more for us, gentlemen? And they play with all the grit with which he played for Queen's Park Rangers. Middlesbrough have a corner kick, won by Hendry, with 2 minutes of stoppage time play. Corner which Jimmy Phillips will take. A bit too long for Wilkinson. Peacock, forward by Falconer. Hendry. White doing well, but he was fouled by Penrice. Phillips. Hung in towards Wilkinson, headed by Maddox. Seized by Statescore as Hendry came in. Knocked out a player so that Hendry can receive some treatment. And that's the end of the action. A point apiece, enough to keep Queen's Park Rangers and Middlesbrough in the best of company in the Premier League's upper reaches. Quiet first half, the second half wall-to-wall incident which continues beyond the final whistle with Robbie Mustoe getting involved with Jerry Francis. Shame because we've had action aplenty in the second half. Andy Sinton's last-minute penalty, the third equaliser that injury hit Queen's Park Rangers manage. There'll still be one or two who doubt that a Queen's Park Rangers or a Middlesbrough can go the title distance, but they may be dwindling in numbers, and a season of surprises may yet have a surprise ending.